Have you ever noticed how we move so quickly from one celebration to the next? From the cozy warmth of Christmas and the joyful arrival of the Christ child, we leap to the triumphant shouts of Easter morning. It's the day the Holy Spirit came down with fire and filled the believers with power to experience, and sometimes we don't understand it until we see it with our own eyes. And then, just days later, bright green blades of grass push through the dirt like tiny messengers of hope. What once was dead and became alive. The lawns came back to life. The long winter has loosened its grip, and blossoms are bursting from the trees. You're on a path. The same God who rolled away the stone, who rained down the Spirit like fire, who spoke life into dry bones, he's not finished with you. So walk this path to Pentecost with expectation. Let every flower remind you of God's promise. Let every rainfall refresh your hope. Let every sunrise be proof that he is still working. Don't just remember the resurrection. Live like it's true. Because it is, and when Pentecost comes, may you not only celebrate what God has done, but be ready for what he is about to do through you. The journey is not over, it's just getting started. Buds are breaking open. The air is warm. You can feel the change in your bones. This is not just spring. This is resurrection written across creation in full color. As we journey from Easter to Pentecost, from Lilith to Peonies, we're reminded of something powerful. God is still renewing, still restoring, still raising the dead things in us to life. So open your eyes. Don't rush through this season. Watch the world change around you. Let it change something in you. Let it stir your spirit. And as you do, give thanks to the God who holds the power to resurrect anyone, anywhere. The trees looked stronger. Nature itself was preaching a sermon. God restores. He renews. He resurrects. Just like the earth, we go through seasons. Drought, loss, silence. But that doesn't mean it's over. Beneath the surface, God is already at work. His rain will come. His power will move. And new life will rise. Nature, in its own way, becomes a teacher. Just last year, summer was brutal. He brings purpose to pain, life to what was lost, and strength from the places we once felt weak. Even seeds have to die to become what they were meant to be. A tiny seed breaks apart in darkness to grow into something greater. An acorn bursts to form an oak. In the same way, we are called to die, not just in the physical sense, but to die to our self-centeredness, our pride, our fears, our sin. That kind of dying isn't easy. It feels like losing control. But it's only through that surrender that we are transformed. Only through dying that we can be raised into something stronger, more beautiful, more whole. Just as Jesus gave up his life to take it back again, we too are called to follow that pattern. The path to Pentecost is a path of transformation. It starts with death, but ends in fire. The ground turned to dust, the trees stood limp, rivers disappeared. Everything looked finished. I remember one day vividly. My dog Benny had wandered too close to a lake whose water level had dropped dangerously low. The roots and weeds tangled around him, and I couldn't reach him. Panic set in. I thought I'd lost him. I cried out not as a preacher, not as a theologian, but as a man in distress. And then, just as I turned away thinking I'd seen the last of him, Benny leapt out from the water like a miracle. It was shocking, sudden, and honestly, unexplainable. But in that moment, I saw resurrection, not the final kind, but a shadow of it. A glimpse. The symbol of Pentecost is the red peony vibrant, full of life and ablaze with color. It's sometimes called Mary's rose. That fiery red blossom stands as a picture of the Spirit descending, of God's presence bursting into the world like a holy wildfire. But before Pentecost came, Jesus took time to appear again and again. He wasn't hiding. He wanted people to see the resurrection for themselves. Not just believe it secondhand, but witness it. Mary thought he was a gardener in the quiet of the garden. 2 disciples met him on a dusty road to Emmaus. He showed up to the 11, to Thomas, to more than 500 others. Jesus made it clear. This was no ghost, no rumor. It was real. God's power had raised him, and he walked that path with his people. Every step was part of the journey toward Pentecost. We decorate our churches with poinsettias in December, then with Easter lily in April, skipping right over the agony, the betrayal, the blood-soaked cross in between. But now, after Easter, many simply move on. The resurrection has come, the tomb is empty, and we carry on with life. But something powerful is often overlooked: the path to Pentecost. This season is more than a gap in the calendar. It's a holy journey, a walk from white lily to red peonies. From the miracle of the empty tomb to the fire of the Spirit. And if you slow down long enough, you will see that the power that raised Christ from the dead is still moving today, and it is moving toward something extraordinary. Pentecost is not just a word we throw around in church. But the resurrection isn't only something to believe in, it's something to feel. Soon after, the rains came. Not a drizzle, but hours of steady, powerful rain. The air smelled different. The ground softened. This is the very character of God. He doesn't leave things dead. Now the earth is awakening again. If you've ever felt stuck, forgotten, broken, or hopeless, remember this: you're not at the end.